Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Izzati binti Razak. So today I would like to present to you about Kaizen costing. So we go through the first is definition. Kaizen is basically from the Japanese word which Kai is changes and the Zen is better. Kaizen, it refers to the continuous improvement that constantly going through the organization, which stress about the effective management ways during the manufacturing process. It will give a result of the cost which is further below the initial standard in designing the product. Kaizen is a process-oriented way of thinking that support and encourage the people in a small continuous of improvement. What the continuous improvement is, basically there are 3 dimensions, which is the first, improving the quality of the product and services. Second is zero waste, and the third is customer satisfaction. Kaizen is basically a system that involves all of the employee from the top management to the bottom of management. It also implemented the objective of determine the cost of reduction target and cooperation of the staff in all of the levels. That is from the different innovation and the cost control technique in standard of costing. The history of the Kaizen costing is began after the World War II, when the Toyota first implemented the quality circle in the production process. It was influenced by the American business and the quality management teacher who visited the country. The group of workers performing of the same or the similar product who meet the regularly to identify and analyze the solve work related problem. This revolutionary concept became very popular in Japan in the 1950s and continues to exist in the form of Kaizen group as well as similar worker participation scheme. The term of Kaizen is basically become famous around the world through the work of Masaaki Imai. Masaaki Imai, which is a Japanese organization theorist and the management consultant. In 1985, he founded the Kaizen Institute Consulting Group, which is KICG, to help the Western company introduce the concept, system and tools of Kaizen.
I will explain on the core element of Kaizen costing. So basically, there are 5 core elements of Kaizen costing, which is teamwork, personal discipline, improve morale, quality circle, and also suggestion for improvement. So the first element is teamwork. In teamwork, Kaizen believe that each employee have something to contribute. So the employee might feel the sense of belonging in the organization. It is important to create environment where the co-workers are free to make any suggestion in their workspace. Okay, so the next element is personal discipline. Personal discipline is where everybody is accountable for what they did and they shall take the responsibility for the action. Okay, company shall set standard in the organization, and then the employee will have to comply and work to meet the standard required by the company. Okay, the next core element is improve morale. Improve morale is basically Kaizen would not achieve if the employees does not have a morale. It is important for the management to support their employees and empower them. A good worker will always have a high productivity as they have a genuine state in the firm. Okay, the next element is quality circle, where just like the rest of the elements, quality circle are also important as it will eliminate waste that can prevent company from operating at its maximum efficiency. Quality circle consists of small groups of people who would regularly meet and discuss on issues at the workplace. The goal is mainly to develop solution in a short period of time. The last core element is suggestion for improvement. As we all know, Kaizen requires continuous improvement in all aspects. It is important that improvement of suggestion is made by the lower level management as they perform the day-to-day activity operation, and they are required to check on how they work and record anything that might cause delay. So the management have to take their employee suggestion seriously and provide appropriate information if needed. Next, I will explain on the 5S Kaizen framework, which consists of sort, straighten, shine, standardize, and also sustain. Sort is basically categorizing the item based on its necessity. So the unnecessary item will be labeled in red note and it will be moved out from the organization. Next is straighten. Straighten is where the organization is left only with the essential item, and this item will be arranged and in orderly manner so that it is simplifying for the operation. Okay, the next framework is shine, where shine here refers to maintaining its cleanliness and it creates a positive work environment to the employee. Next is standardization, which is also known as Saiketsu. This is where the workstation should be consistent and standardized to ensure that employees are doing their work well, even though when they are not in their own working station. The last framework is sustain, which is also known as Shitsuke. This is the final step and it is to communicate and educate the employees on the changes made, thus developing a sense of self-control and discipline among them to maintain and follow the standard set by the employer.
There are two types of Kaizen costing. The first is asset-oriented or organization-oriented. The second is product-oriented. What mean of asset-oriented or organization-oriented is a Kaizen costing activities that are planned and directed as the requirement of the firm or deal. As a competitive pressure will force the firm to reduce the product price over the time, and any possible saving in the cost of facilitate in achieving the intended profit margin will continually on reducing the cost. For the product oriented is Kaizen costing activity are undertaken in specialized project in great focus on value analysis. It means that to ensure the production of the product meets the desired quality, usability, customer satisfaction, and at the reasonable price to maintain the competitive. So basically, the purpose of Kaizen costing is to reduce the actual cost below the standard that's set by the innovations. For the goal of management, which determine the cost of reduction that usually compares the real monthly result. That is, the Kaizen is used to not only for maintaining the standard but also used to enhance them. The most important aspect in Kaizen costing in the term of business and production, which is the improvement of the elements such as quality, cost, and delivery. What means of the improvement of the element, which is the first of quality improvement, there are in the term of features of production and the product. The second is for the cost improvement in the term of product cost. And the third is delivering the improvement in the term of delivering to distribute the product.
Hi and Assalamualaikum. I'm Noorhidayah Sofia. I will present about the reasons why Kaizen is popularly adopted by the corporation. There is 5 reasons, which are job satisfaction, company involvement, dedication, teamwork, and open-minded. Okay, the first point is job satisfaction. The employees must be pleased with their jobs and be committed towards improving their working performance. To determine the employees' attitudes and the level of job satisfaction, the human resources can conduct the survey. Then, continuous efforts should be made to improve working conditions and employees' job satisfaction in the organization. Next, company involvement. The management and employees must be committed to Kaizen. The management need to allocate time for workers' evaluation, while the workers need to given time to monitor the management as well. The concept of Kaizen must be a priority to the entire of the organization. The third point is dedication. The Kaizen strategy should be presented to the management level and the employees. It's a method of improving the productivity of the organization and the company's long-term objective. This method will only be success if the management and the employees remain dedicated. Next, teamwork. When the employees build the teamwork, they are more encouraged to seek for a question and answer from as many people as possible. It is important for the top management, such as supervisors, to create an environment where their co-workers are free to make any suggestion in their workspace. Therefore, employees need to learn the function as a team. The last point is open-minded. The entire organization need to have an open mind for Kaizen to work. Kaizen can be a significant change from the way people are accustomed to doing things, and the constant performance analysis can seem unrealistic and pointless at a time. This method will success if the management level encourage everyone in the organization to embrace the Kaizen strategy. Then I will present about the usefulness of Kaizen technique. The first point is customer satisfaction. The Kaizen costing is a customer-oriented technique. It focuses on providing better services and products to the consumer. The sales department can conduct the survey to determine the level of customer satisfaction regarding the products or services they receive. The customers' feedback are the most essential tools for the sustainability and growth of your businesses. Next, the continuous improvement. One of the crucial functions of Kaizen costing, which emphasize on improvement and betterment of the product, process, project, and the organization. Therefore, it will improve all functions that involve in the entire organization. The other usefulness is creates better work environment. It promotes a positive work environment for the employees and the management. As example, as sharing canteen and the dress code. It's a part of work culture in many organizations. Other than that, the management are the model of the behavior that we want to see in the employees. Next is the problem solving. Kaizen costing is a method which to solve the identified problem to achieve perfection in the business operations. It is important since it gives us the mechanism to identify and figure out the problems and determine the course of action to fix it. Lastly, reduce wastage. Due to better time and material management, in Kaizen costing technique, the wastage of time and resources can be avoided. It will make the businesses more efficient and cut costs. Therefore, the management can evolve, update its processes and ways of working by using new technologies and ideas. There are few limitations of Kaizen technique. Firstly, the burden on lower level management. Kaizen costing becomes confusing and dull for the bottom level management to adopt the changes in process or products when Kaizen costing is implemented. This is because they may resort to old practices when they felt the changes become difficult to adopt to. Therefore, it will be wasting the time and resources spent to implement the Kaizen costing, and the purpose of implementation Kaizen costing will be defeated. The other limitation is lack of training. Kaizen costing requires a lot of training and expertise. If not implemented strategically, it may even lead to adverse effect. These methods require training staff and management to understand and adopt the Kaizen's philosophy. This might require altering the usual process of work. Employees may need to take out time from work to undergo training and may find it dull and demanding. Moreover, for the employees to understand the entire concept of Kaizen, the time allocated to training is insufficient. Thus, employees may not be willing to implement a concept that they do not understand. The last one is permanent change system. The change to implement through Kaizen costing is irreversible, and it requires a lot of efforts and cost in withdrawing such decisions. The organization are reluctant to change. Thus, the management have to put the resistance when implement Kaizen costing. The management might be reluctant when the employees might not be ready to accept a different system in the organization. The cost to be incurred might be expensive when making decision.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Khairunnisa. I represent about the Kaizen costing process. Okay, in the Kaizen cost process, there is 9 steps, which is starting with the involve employee, identify problem, solving the problem, implementation, evaluation, and lastly standardize. We start with the involved employee. Employee plays a vital role in implementing any changes. Participants of the employee are very important in the organization to make sure that the organization achieve what their want, their target, and to get successfulness. Okay. Involved employee in the organization will eliminate the resistance of the changes. Okay. We took an example when we took an example just like we ask feedback from the employee about the organization. At the same time, we can get feedback, we can get idea, and we can also get any information that we don't know before this. The next step is identify the problem. To make a new changes in the company, we should know that the problem in the company. During this stage, all employees, either top management, operational worker, operational manager, middle manager, all will involved in the brainstorming to identify any problem in the organization. Okay, we took an example such as overproduction, waiting, transportation, inventory, motion, and defective product. Okay, we took an example from the inventory. Okay, example just like limited space to store the inventory, so that's our problem. The next step is the solving the problem. During this stage, if there any problem, there must be a solution. So during this stage, top management and the other manager will sit together, brainstorming, and think and find the best solution to overcome the problem. Okay, just now our problem is about the limitation of the inventory storage. Okay, so we can either ask the operational worker such as the storekeeper whether our inventory can be deduct for the unnecessary inventory, or we can just order inventory when we need. Okay, so based on this problem, the best solution for this problem is such as the just in time, which is we will order the inventory at some level, so the inventory will come and the inventory never have any shortage. Okay, after we know the problem, we get the solution, so it's the time for us to implement the solution. Okay, during implementation, for sure it will be include the high cost and for sure high risk. So to eliminate the high cost and the high risk, we should try to implement the solution at some stage of the organization, a small part of the organization. So for the inventory, we can implement in the inventory for the raw material only, not for the ada inventory. So we can try at the some part of the organization. Okay, the next is, if we already implement, we should supervise it. So this is the next stage, which is evaluation. During this stage, manager have to supervise all the implementation, follow the standard, fully implement, and supervisor or manager have to supervise it from time to time. We don't want our implementation just halfway, so nothing. Okay, the last step is standardize. Once we get a positive feedback from the evaluation, we get the positive result. So it's the time for us to make the changes in our company. So the changes will be our standard of procedure, our new standard of procedure, and this will be our SOP until a new changes until the new changes in the future. Okay, the application of Kaizen in the real world, which is they from their engineer Taichi Ono, they implement just in time in their company. So it's an inventory strategy to increase efficiency and decrease waste by the received goods. Inventory only as they are needed in the production, so we don't store any unnecessary inventory. The advantage of just in time, which is the first, is it will help in reducing the inventory cost, it reduce the waste reduction, and fewer production error, which is we store just a few number of stock of inventory, so we can eliminate or we can reduce our error. Okay, there are other company that use this Kaizen method, such as Unilever, Cadbury, Nestle, and also the Ford.
There are a few ways to improve Kaizen in a company. So the first way is to involve everyone in the company. So involving everyone from all level, which is the top level management, middle level, and also the lower level management, to give all suggestion and improvement on how to do their work. Apart from that, company can also help by making a business improvement workshop to improve its business system. The second way is to challenge the status quo. Challenging the status quo means to get rid and eliminate of the old idea of how employees do things and replace it with a new and improvised version. It is important to avoid emotional trap of blaming each other or making excuses that can prevent from discovering the real problem. The third way of improving Kaizen in a firm is by being specific. So the company shall know what they want, and they can use the 5W and 1H approach to identify and search for the root of the problem. Apart from that, they can also set a specific goals and ensures that all employees understand and that they are working on towards the same goals. Next, the company can also focus on the right thing to improve their Kaizen effort. They can start by improving the business system, which will enable them to increase profit, and the company shall find ways on how to provide greater values of its product and create better experience for its customer. It is said that a low-cost product can be created if they know how to correctly do it. Last but not least, to improve, the company can provide or conduct training to its employee. So by providing training, the company can help to tackle unnecessary problem, as employees will understand more on how the company works, and they will also strive to elevate standards set by the company.